Hello?
Up next, I'll Always Love You by Hans Wilhelm. Make sure you watch it to the end. This is a story about Elfie, the best dog in the whole world. We grew up together, but Elfie grew much faster than I did. I loved resting my head on her warm coat. Then we would dream together. My brother and sister loved Elfie very much, but she was my dog. Every day, Elfie and I played together. Elfie loved to chase squirrels and to dig in my mother's flower garden. Sometimes, my folks would get very angry with Elfie when she would get into mischief. But they still loved her, even when they scolded her. The trouble was, no one told her except me. The years passed quickly, and while I was growing taller and taller, Elfie was growing rounder and rounder. The older Elfie got, the more she slept, and the less she liked to walk. I was getting worried. We took Elfie to the vet, but there wasn't much he could do. "Elfie is just growing old," he said. It soon became too difficult for Elfie to climb the stairs. But she had to sleep in my room.
Hello? I'm Barney. I'm Peter's cat. Today I would like to speak to you about subscriptions to our YouTube channel. They are free, they are still available, and we would kindly like you to subscribe to our channel. If you are not subscribed, we encourage you to do so without haste. They are selling like hotcakes, and we cannot guarantee that there will still be some left. Please, we encourage you, we urge you to please subscribe to this channel at your earliest convenience. Thank you.
I gave Elfie a soft pillow to sleep on, and before we went to sleep, I would say to her, "I'll always love you." I know she understood. One morning, I woke up and discovered that Elfie had died during the night. We buried Elfie together. We all cried and hugged each other. My brother and sister loved Elfie a lot, but they never told her so. I was very sad too, but it helped to remember that I had told her every night, "I'll always love you." A neighbor offered me a puppy. I knew Elfie wouldn't have minded, but I said no. I gave him Elfie's basket instead. He needed it more than I did. Someday, I'll have another dog, or a kitten, or a goldfish. But whatever it is, I'll tell it every night. I'll always love you. So remember that. Tell someone you love them.
I love you.
It makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. It's good for the planet. I'll always love you. Isn't that a great book? It's so important to embrace the idea of a pet dying. We've all had pets. Maybe you had a pet rock. Maybe you had a cat, a dog, a bird, a fish, a woolly mammoth. I don't know what you had, but I had lots of different animals. We had cats and dogs and rabbits and fish and marmots, like rodent type things growing up. I think I may have even had a snake, garter snake or something when I was a kid. Frogs, turtles, oh man, we had all kinds of stuff. But they all had something in common. They died. Pets die. It's sad when they do, but it's a fact of life. We live and we pass away. And Elfie passed away, but the little boy was content. He was okay with it because he always told her, I'll always love you. And Elfie knew that. So in life or in death, I'll always love you. So I had lots of pets. We had dogs. My first dog was named Pootie. And it was half poodle, half D. I don't know exactly, but it climbed trees. It was a really cool dog. And then we had Peppy, who was a half Chihuahua. And Peppy got caught red-handed getting jiggy with Wimpy, the dog next door. And several months later, she had 4 little babies, little bambinos. And they were so cute. And we had Muffins, AKA Buttons, AKA Godzilla, that my dad got from some guy downtown that was looking for some money for some dope or something. And he told my dad it was a purebred. It wasn't no purebred, but it was a cute dog nonetheless. And that had puppies too. And we had a ton of cats. We had a cat named Pussy that looked like a pussy willow. The color was like a pussy willow. What? And we had Skippy. Skippy was a black cat. And one day Skippy went missing and we couldn't find him for days on end. And finally he just turned up and he was all beat up. He had cuts and he was in really sad shape. And my dad took a look at him. He was starting screaming like a woman. I was like, oh man, get out of the way. What's the problem here? And then I saw Skippy and I started screaming like a woman. And then my mom took over and she started screaming like a man. Poor Skippy had to take himself to the vet. He came back all stitched up and he had a rod in his arm. And we changed his name to Rod. And then there's Billy. Billy was a funky cat. We had to take him to get fixed. And I'll never forget when he came back from the vet. He looked like Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest after that electric shock treatment. He was just like... And after that, he just kind of laid around the house and read the newspaper and smoked cigars. And he wasn't interested in chicks anymore. And then we had all kinds of other animals. We had a parakeet that I caught outside. We had hamsters. We had a gerbil named Richard Gere. We had rabbits that chewed the phone lines, and my dad got all paranoid and thought they were trying to cut off our communication to the outside world. So we had to get rid of them. And whew, lots of pets. They all had something in common. They died.
They passed away.
They went to heaven.
Well, actually, in our case, they went to the backyard, under the apple tree, under the pine tree. It's like the pet cemetery at the Von Gomm property in Portland, Oregon. We give tours. Just remember, I'll always love you. Oh, and also check out our Patreon account. We have a Patreon account now offering some fun stuff. Please consider becoming a patron. And thank you as always. And if you have a book that you'd like me to read, you can see the description of this video. There's an address where you can send books. Please contact me though and let me know that you're sending me something. Bye. Barney. Barney. You know I will always love you.
You're gonna live forever. You're gonna be a part of our family and keep us happy.
Barney!